Sibingelele sikwamukele indaba enze ihora lokuqala emini sibingelele nakuwe osibuka ohlelweni lethu olusha lezokusakaza iDTT lezi ndaba nizethulelwa usakhiwo ngokwasokhela nazi ezinohlonze emini nje.
They paid about 5 million rand, but the money was not paid into the account of the service provider.
Isicela amathafi izikhule imbili kumeziphezulu kumasipala wasesikhukhune ezisolwa ngokweba nokukhwabanisa imali engaphezulu kwegidi ezinhlanu zamarandi.
Zoleka took everything that is called strength and courage from those two women, Comrade Winnie and our dear friend Comrade Zinzi.
Umndeni izihlobo nabangani zithendle lanhle kothandiweyo obeyisishoshovu sesifo somdlavuza uZoleka Mandela ngesikhathi kubanjwe inkonzo omncwabo namhlanje kuseni. Utuswe kakhulu ngegalelo lakhe ngokuqashisa ngesifo somdlavuza. uZoleka ubekwe emathuneni ase4ways Memorial Park eGoli. Izikhulu ezimbili eziphezulu okubalwa kuzo nowayinhloko ebhekele izimali kumasipala wesifunda esikhukhune zigcwele amathafa njengoba zithungathwa amaphoyisa ngeinsolo zokweba kanye nokukhwabanisa imali engaphezulu kwegidi ezinhlanu zamarandi. Abanye ababili okusolwa ukuthi bayanindeka ke kulezi insolo bakhalelwe ngamasonga sigonyela izolo ntambama.
Bekumatasatasa uphikweni lwamaHawks njengoba izisebenzi ezimbili ezivela eTshwane ezazihlinzeka ngosizo kumasipala wasesikhukhune zikhalelwe ngamasongo kasigonyela ngezinsolo zokweba kanye nokukhwabanisa imali okusolwa ukuthi kwenzeka ngo-2018. Kubikwa ukuthi izikhulu zalo masipala zakhokhela lezi zisebenzi imali engaphezulu kwezigidi ezinhlanu ngomsebenzi wokuqapha.
There was a tender that was awarded. It was a tender to provide security services. So it was said that they paid about 5 million rand, but the money was not paid into the account of the service provider. Instead, it was paid to a wrong account.
Ngesikhathi uphiko lwamaHawks lugasela kulo masipala lufike esedle phansi umphathi omkhulu okusolwa ukuthi uyanindeka kulamacala.
We are still busy searching for the officials who ran away, because we went to this Sekhukhune district municipality to look for those officials who are allegedly involved in these corrupt activities, but they were nowhere to be found.
Amaqembu aphikisayo athi sokuyisikhathi sokuthi izikhulu ezinindeka enkohlakalweni zibhekane nengalo yomthetho.
I'm so happy that there is a movement, and the very same 5.4 million, it has cost us 30 million. I hope after this they're going to visit the ones that stole 30 million in the very same case.
Amaphoyisa sathungatha owayinhloko ebhekele ezemali kanye nomphathi ophezulu okholakala ukuthi basasebenza kulo masipala.
Umndeni wakwaMandela uthi indlela enhle namhlanje kothandiwe wawo uZoleka onqotshwe isifo somdlavuza. uZoleka Mandela obeneminyaka engama-43 waphumela obala ngo-2022 malungana nempi nesifo somdlavuza. Ngeshwa ke kwagcine kumenela ukufa ngolwesithathu kuleli sonto. Kutuswe ke igalelo lakhe ngokuqwashisa ngesifo abephila naso kanye nokwabelana ngolwazi nabesifazane ababhekene nesimo esifanayo. Amathamba akhe ke azolondolozwa emathuneni ase4ways Memorial Park khona namhlanje.
Ngokusa kwanamhlanje umndeni wakwaMandela izihlobo kanye nabangani bakaZoleka Mandela uhlanganyele ekhaya lawo eOrlando eSoweto lapho bubambe khona inkonzo yomlindelo ngasese ngaphambi kokuyobeka uZoleka endaweni yakhe yokugcina. Ulamla Joyose osondelene nomndeni uthi wamaze saphathwa uZoleka eneminyaka emine nje kuphela behlala emgaqweni obizwa ngovilakazi eSoweto. Uchaza ngomzima akhulela ngaphansi kwabo.
She was a very lovely child, a very good one, so we used to chat with her, so especially when they are coming from school, but the conditions were really very bad because remember, in those days, police used to come sometimes at night or in the early hours, waking up everybody.
Phezu kwakho konke lokhu uZoleka wakhombisa ukuzihlupha ngesimo senhlalo kulelizwe ngisho ebuncaneni bakhe.
One thing I like about her, she was a very disciplined child. So whenever I met her, so there's something that we learn about her. Yeah, because she was interested in knowing that what is it that you are doing about this country? Is it the kind of freedom that you are fighting for? All those sorts of questions.
Emva kwalokho isidumbu sikaZoleka ongumzukulu wesishoshovu zomzabalazo ubaba uNelson Mandela nomama uWinnie Madikizela Mandela sibese siphelezelwa kubhekwe ebandleni Methodist eBryanston eGoli. Kule nkonzo yomngcwabo abezindaba bebengavunyelwe ukuxoshela okwenzeka ngaphakathi. Kanti iphini lokuqala likanobhala jikelele we-ANC lithi uZoleka lwedlulela kuye ufuzo likamama uWinnie nolukanina uZinzi ngesibindi abenaso.
I think Zoleka took everything that is called strength and courage from those two women, Comrade Winnie and our dear friend Comrade Zinzi. She made all of us to live in hope, even at a time when you are in the worst of your health.
Lokhu ke kufakazelwa umsebenzi abewenza ukuqashisa ngesifo somdlavuza abephila naso okuyiso esigcine simgojele.
She inspired hope and courage. She also promoted the right of women in terms of their reproductive rights against all odds, as well as being a mother hen. Everything that Zoleka would be showing, there will be her children around.
uZoleka Mandela wangeniswa esibhedlela ngomhla zishumi kuyona lenyanga ephezulu mandulo uzobekwa ke endlini yakhe yokugcina eFour Ways Memorial Park kanti emhlabeni ushiya ngemuva izingane zakhe ezine.
Ithi izobhekisa enkantolo amabombo njengoba imfune ekhalelwa amasongo kaSigonyela unobhala jikelele we-ANC ufikile embalula. Lokhu kuzemva kokuthi inkantolo yokudluliswa kwamacala esichithile isicelo se-ANC semvume yokudlulisa icala enkantolo ephakeme kanti yathi ke kufanele inikeze iDA imininingwane ngokujutshwa kwenhlaka zayo. I-ANC phambilini yaveza ukuthi izofinyelela enkantolo yomthethosisekelo mayelana nalo lolu daba. Kodwa iDA ithi ANC yeqiwe usuku lomnqamula juqu olwabekwa enkantolo.
The DA can reveal that the ANC is in contempt of court over an order issued by the Supreme Court of Appeal which compelled the ANC to make public its cadre deployment records. In response to the ANC's defiance of this court ruling, the DA is approaching the courts for an order of contempt and will seek the committal to prison of ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula. Since the ANC's doomed appeal at the Supreme Court of Appeal was filed under Mbalula's name, he has made himself guilty of the same contempt of court offence that led to the imprisonment of former President Jacob Zuma. The DA will consequently launch a court application to send Mbalula to prison using the very precedent established in the Zuma case. This is because the ANC is in contempt of the order issued by the Supreme Court of Appeal on the 4th of September. The court ordered that the ANC must hand over complete records of its cadre deployment committee during the period when President Cyril Ramaphosa was its chairman to the DA within 5 days. The ANC initially indicated that it would appeal this ruling to the Constitutional Court. However, the ANC has missed the 15-day deadline imposed by the court, which means the ANC is now in contempt of court in the absence of any appeal to the Constitutional Court.
Amaqembu ezombusazwe kumkhandlu idolobha waseTshwane kanye nezinyunyane ezimela izisebenzi emkhandlwini sebefuna ukuthi loyo oyimeya uSilas Brink akuzofanele akhishwe esikhundleni ngenxa yokuthi wehlulekile ukuxazulula udaba lokwenyuselwa ke izisebenzi imiholo yazo. Zingaphekwa amakhulu amabili izisebenzi zomkhandlu kumanje sezixoshiwe emsebenzini ngenxa yesiteleka osekuphele isikhathi eside siqhubeka eTshwane kanti ke nohlelo lokulethwa kwedingo ngqangi zomphakathi eTshwane lumile ngenxa yesiteleka.
Zisaqinisiwe namanje ezokuphepha emahhovisi omkhandlu dolobha waseTshwane kusukela izolo kusihlwa emva kokugasela kwamalungu enyunyana yezisebenzi SAMU abehambisana kanye nabalandeli be-EFF. Umbango wamaholo phakathi komkhandlu kanye nezisebenzi uyaqhubeka njengoba iMeya uSilia Brink esamile kwelokuthi ayikho imali yokwenyusela izisebenzi iholo. Inyunyana emele izisebenzi emkhandlwini ikholelwa ukuthi iMeya ayilikhathalele enhloko udaba lwezisebenzi.
It is very clear that the executive here does not have the interest of workers at heart. Instead, he has elevated the interest of the coalition partners to that at the expense of his own employees. Remember that you see, if your workers are happy or you ensure that indeed the conditions of employment are very favorable for your employees, you will then have employees who can then be able to deliver better quality services to the residents. But instead of taking care of your own employees, who are supposed to ensure that indeed there is service delivery, you elevate the interest of coalition partners. It then shows that our priorities are wrong. Instead of ensuring that you elevate the interest of your own residents and the employees, now your priorities are somewhere else.
I-ANC kanye ne-EFF eTshwane bafuna njengamanje ukuthi kuvotele ungabethembi ubuholi beMeya uSilia Brink ukuze aketulwe esikhundleni ngevoti. Iqembu i-Action SA okuyilona belifuna ukufaka isiphakamiso sokuthi kuchithwe uBrink esikhundleni selithatha isinqumo sokuthi liumise lomnyakazo walo nosekuthole okukhulu ukugxekwa amaqembu ezombusazwe lawo wangeyona ingxenye yokubambisana ne-DA eTshwane.
Mbukeli sisathi iqwetolo kanti masibuya sokuphathela uWT.
She works for eClicks and another one for Pick and Pay. They told us a story that per month they were spending something like 1,900 rand.
Kwethula umkhankaso womnyaka yonke womnyango ezokuthutha eMidrand eGauteng njengoba inyanga kaMfumfu ihlonzwa njengenyanga ezokuthutha kanti umkhankaso kulonyaka ubonakala ingqophamlando kanye nempumelelo ekuthuthukisweni kwenqalazizinda. Mbukeli sikubingelele sikwamukela uma ngabe usanda ngena udabeni oluhambe phambili besibike ukuthi Sicela amathafa izikhulu ezimbili eziphezulu kumasipala wasesikhukhune ezisolwa ngokweba nokuqhabanisa imali engaphezulu kwegidi ezinhlanu zamarandi. Mbukela sikhumbuza ukuthi lezi ndaba zikhona na ku YouTube ngena kuyona uzicinge ngamagama athi SABC izindaba na kanjani uzozithola. Undunankulu wase-Eastern Cape Oscar Mabuyane uthi lesi sifundazwe senza imizamo yokukhulisa umnotho wesifundazwe ukulwa nobubha kanye nokungasebenzi kwabantu. Lesi sifundazwe sibambe ingqungquthela yokutshalwa kwemali eMonti.
Uhulumende weMpuma Koloni ubambe inkomfa nalapho uhleli khona nabatyali izimali ngenjongo ke zokuphuhlisa eliphondo ukuqinisekisa uba iphondo elinalo kwezoqoqosho liyaphuhla kodwa ke ndinayo inkulu baphathiswa eliphondo uTata Oscar Mabuyane nosicacisela ngokubaluleka kwale nkomfa kuba iza kwenza umahluko njani kumuntu opha ekhayeni nojonge imisebenzi.
Le ngqungquthela yenzelwe okokuba siqubisane nentswelo ngqesho inhlupheko indlala esijongene nayo kubantu beliphondo. Abantu beliphondo bangaxhomekeki nje kwinkamnkam njengoko uninzi lwabo luxhomekeke kuyo nabantwana. Silungiselela uba abantu abakwazi uba basebenze bakwazi uvuka babheke emsebenzini bakwazi ukujonga amakhaya abo baqinisa amakhaya abo. Abatyali izimali ke bafuna urhulumente ocacelweyo kwaye sikhokelo esicacileyo umkhombandlela ocacileyo. Senza loo nto ke apha namhlanje le ngqungquthela yingqungquthela abatyali izimali. Abantu abazaba lapha ngabantu abathi thina sele sisebenze sazomapha. Upresident wathi xa sithethe masithethe ngeeprojekthi eziredi singazichazi zingekho ready projects. So uyabona ke uba abantu abalapha ngabantu asele beye nakula National Investment Conference kaPresident. Abanye bayaqala ufika apha almost 22 billion out of these 18 investors ezintsha bayaqala ukuthi apha sikhona. Seziqalisile ezi project usebenza koomasipala ngomasipala kwi-SEZ nge-SEZ sizoziconfirma apha namhlanje ukuthi songeza kwezi besele sizichazile zigqithileyo kwaye siqinisekile into yokokuba lo msebenzi siwenzayo uyasinceda ukuthatha iphondo lethu ulibeke kwinqanaba elingasentla ingakumbi kumcimbi wezoqoqosho khona ukuze sidala amathuba omsebenzi silwe intlupheko nendlala kubantu bakuthi.
Iziseko zingundoqo nazo zinendima ebalulekileyo xa kujongwe abatyali zimali befuna ukuba bezotyala imali zabo apha ephondweni. Ingaba nime kanjani kwelo cala?
Yiyo le nto sisebenza noTransnet. uTransnet eqinisa onke amazibuko ethu. Sisebenza noSandral uyajonga phantse iprovince yonke yi-construction site zonke indlela zethu zephondo ezi zinxumelalanisa iphondo namanye amaphondo njalo njalo ziyasetyenzwa zibekwa emgangathweni nguSandral oyi-agente karhulumente ongurhulumente okhokelwa yi-ANC. I-ANC zezinto ibithe izawuzenza yenze ezo zinto ezo ebantwini okokuba siqubisane nemeko yentswelo sidala amathuba omsebenzi. Ingqungquthela le izodala amathuba omsebenzi. Bonke aba bantu bachaza imali apha bachaza ukuba bazakwenza ezo shishini ii-factories. Sijongene nokuvula ii-factory koodimbaza koogcuwa koomthatha koFort Jackson khona ukuze abantu bakuthi bavuke baphangele. So nanso into engasilalisiyo silapha namhlanje kuba sifuna uqinisekisa uba siyalifumana ichiza lokuqinisekisa sibheka phambili liyakhula liyanyelela siqala apha sibheka phambili.
Masibulele Premier lo ke ibengikhulu baphathiswa ephondo uOscar Mabuyane nalapho isichazela khona ukuba ngaba abatyali zimali bazathi babe negalelo elibalulekileyo kwidabi lokulwa intswelangqesho apha ephondweni. Sibuyise indambo kuni estudio.
Nelson Mandela Bay ekhahlamezwe isomiso engathi ukuphefumula kancane emva kokuna kwemvula kulezi nyanga ezedlule. Amanye amadama asezingeni elihle kwamanje.
Ndiyazibulisela namhlanje silapha eKoga Dam elinadama lisa amanzi umasipala ombhaxo Nelson Mandela. Kwinyanga emibini edlulileyo elidama belomile ngenamanzi kodwa ngoku likumnyaka 97.8% kodwa ngomasithethe noRenet Koleski oyi-CEO yeGamtus Irrigation Board. Renee, just to speak about what this means for you, I know that obviously facing a drought was tough for the Koga municipality, but what does it mean for you to see this dam, and also what becomes important now to maintain this dam should more droughts come after this?
Lerato, yes, we are very, very glad to see the dam nearly overflowing, and we expect that it will happen now within the next few hours. We went through a very hard time, and the entire community will testify to that. Every single person, from your agricultural user to your domestic user, especially our communities here, were very involved with the drought, and they're also very elated at this moment in time. What we can expect is that we will have more water available to our water users, and that includes your domestic users as well as your agricultural users, and we look forward that we go into a time where our agricultural users can make optimal use of the water.
Renet Koleski osuka kwiGamtus Irrigation Board ethetha ngokuchulumanca ngeli dama elikumnyaka 97.8% kodwa sithi bazoqinisekisa ukuba amafama naluntu lwalapha lusebenzisa amanzi kunonopha. Kodwa ngoma sibele back to in studio.
Namhlanje kwethulwe umkhankaso waminyaka yonke womnyango wezokuthutha eMidrand eGauteng njengoba inyanga kaMfumfu ihlonzwa njengenyanga yezokuthutha, kanti umkhankaso kulonyaka ke ubonakala uyingqophamlando kanye nempumelelo ekuthuthukisweni kwenqalasizinda.
Ungqongqoshe wezokuthutha uSindisiwe Chikunga kanye nozakwabo namhlanje bethule umkhankaso waminyaka yonke wokuthuthukisa inqalasizinda kulomkhakha. Uchikunga ukhulume ngemisebenzi asebeyenzile kulomkhakha uqinisekisa ukuthi abagibeli bahlala bethokozile.
One of the commuters in the corridor between Lirala to Germiston said to us she works for 8 clicks and another one for Pick and Pay. They told us a story that per month they were spending something like 1,900 rand. Today they are spending only 300 rand. Thanks to the recovery of that corridor.
Uthi lo mkhakha uma ungafinyelele ezingeni ngokuphelele ungakwazi ukufukula umnotho wakuleli.
This contribution has potential to increase exponentially once we achieve certain levels of competitiveness and efficiency in the sector. These are interventions we are focused on implementing as we accelerate the implementation of our policy trajectory to achieve greater efficiencies and advance structural reforms.
Iphini likangqongqoshe lithi ukucekelwa phansi kwenqalasizinda kuseyinselele enkulu kulomnyango.
We need communities to take responsibilities and protect their infrastructure. In terms of what happened recently in Rea Vaya, also in the city of Tshwane, where the city could not reach an agreement with the unions there, we saw a disruption of bus services where the most vulnerable.
Kunxuswa abagibeli ukuba banakekele inqalasizinda ukuze umnyango ungabuyeli emuva.
Isikhungo semfundo ephakeme iUNISA sesihloniphe iphini yenhloko yamajaji yakuleli uMandisa Maya ngesitifiketi sobudokotela kwezomthetho iLLD. Lokhu kulandela ukuthi isihloniphe inhloko yamajaji uRaymond Zondo ngolwesithathu. Lesikhungo sincome uMaya ngamagalelo akhe kwezokwehlulela nezomthetho zakuleli ikakhulukazi ngokucathulisa enye imbokodo kulomkhakha.
Ngesikhathi amukela isitifiketi uMaya nongowesifazane wokuqala ngqa ukuba iphini lenhloko yamajaji kuleli ubonge iUNISA ngokuqhakambisa umsebenzi owenziwa imbokodo.
What makes this honor even more meaningful is that it recognizes a woman in a male-dominated field, the legal field, in which women are still grossly underrepresented.
Inkulumo yakhe ibigxile kakhulu emsebenzini osahlalele iningizimu Afrika wokulwisana nokungalingani kubulili makuza emathubeni emsebenzi nathe kumele kulungiswe ngokusheshsha.
The gender gap in various occupations continues to be widened by the several barriers that prevent women from getting equal opportunities and causes some women to be subjected to unfair employment practices, such as being paid less than their male peers for the same work. Although academic institutions and the legal profession have been at the forefront in the fight for gender inclusivity, underrepresentation of women within the workforce of these industries still persist.
Nokho uphinde wavuma ukuthi kukhona ukuthuthuka okubonakalayo ikakhulukazi emkhakheni akuwo.
The judiciary in particular has been making earnest efforts to advance more women into senior positions. Recently, the second woman president of the Supreme Court of Appeal was appointed following my ascendancy to the Constitutional Court as the country's first woman Deputy Chief Justice. Across the 9 high courts in the country, 2 are led by women judges president, while 5 courts have women judges as their deputy judges president.
Amajaji aphezulu uMaya noZondo bathole ukuhlonishwa ngezindondo kulandela isinqumo somkhandlu weUNISA sangoNhlangulana kulonyaka.
Mbukeli, umhlahlo wesimo sezulu uyalandela emva kwekhefu. Mbukeli, sizibeka lapho ke indaba zehora lokuqala emini kuze kube ngokuzayo sale kahle.